What's your thoughts on Anne being buried by her family members elsewhere and the remains at the Tower of London actually being Katherine Howard's? If you're not familiar with this is a fantastic legend about Anne Boleyn, brought on by the fact that she had very little ceremony and no grave marker. But thinking of when her remains were found, let's have a quick look. So this is the description of the remains thought to be Anne Boleyn. A female of between 25 and 30 years of age, of a delicate frame of body, and who had been of slender and perfect proportions. The forehead and lower jaw were small and especially well formed. The vertebrae were particularly small, especially one joint, the atlas, which was that next to the skull, bearing witness to the Queen's little neck. The bones found are certainly those of a female in the prime of life, all particularly consolidated and symmetrical, and belong to the same person. The bones of the head indicate a well-formed round skull with an intellectual forehead, straight orbital ridge, large eyes, oval face, and rather square full chin. The remains of the vertebrae and the bones of the lower limbs indicate a well-formed woman of middle height, with a short and slender neck. The ribs show depth and roundness of chest. The hands and feet bones indicate delicate and well-shaped hands and feet, with tapering fingers and a narrow foot. So let's run. This body is someone thought to be 25 to 30, who was around 5 foot to 5'3". Now this was back in the 1880s, and our understanding of the human skeleton has greatly improved. And over the years, some skeletons that have been identified as male turned out to be female, and vice versa. Ages have been reconsidered. Race has been reconsidered. You can look at a load of John and Jane Doe cases as fantastic examples for this. These remains very much sound like the remains of Anne Boleyn. We don't have that much information on Katherine Howard to compare to the remains though. There is one thing, and that's that Katherine Howard is thought to have been in her late teens, and this body is supposedly someone between 25 and 30 years old. Now, yes, they could have made a mistake on the age. This could actually be someone older or someone younger. But the younger someone is when they pass away, the more likely it is that their bones are going to deteriorate. If you're interested in learning more about that, I can recommend a paper from the Biology Journal that's available online. Another shot for Katherine Howard. Katherine Howard is said to have been buried in quicklime, which should deteriorate her remains even quicker. But while some historians are pretty certain that this happened and they're just debating about who ordered it, some historians declare that it's just a legend, it's just a story. But the same time Anne Boleyn was found, they could not find the body